Joel
Yeah.
said the thing with GOATs is there has to be a new class to GOATness. Prospect on, my friends. Oh, well, I personally believe that the term GOAT is a loose term in the hobby. That's a loose term.
Yeah.
You can be a good player. You're not a GOAT.
No.
You can be consistently good. You can score 18 points a game, 19 points a game for several years. You're still not a GOAT.
And you put that across any sport. You could prospect for GOATs all you want, but to get into that, people say GOATs is top 10, top 20, top 30. It's so hard to prospect on guys that are going to
Start now. Yeah.
it-
Think about all the
to
players. I can think about players in the 90s to early 2000s who were really getting after something in the NBA, and they're not even Hall of Famers right now. They probably
like
never
who?
will. Oh, like Mike Bibby was a top player.
Okay. I'm even thinking even like Hall of Fame guys that I'm just ran off my head, but Reggie Miller, he's a Hall of Famer, and there's other guys that are in the NBA right now. Kawhi Leonard, probably going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he will be.
But you got to think like long term, is he going to be regarded as one of the GOATs? Because if he's not, then what's his price going to do? Because once everybody retires, there's got to be a end collector in mind. There's got to be the end guy that ends up with the Kawhi NT RPA.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we're not thinking, oh, like Kawhi is good right now and he's got XYZ chips, that's great. But where is his ceiling? If he can't get to that top 20 all time, then you probably shouldn't be spending over $10,000 on a player that probably is not going to be there.
And then the intangible is personality, likability. I talk about this a lot. Those are the things that take a card's value from here to just here, because you can relate to that player, you like them, and it's like, a lot of people are thinking the same way. You talk about Steph Curry, you think one thing. Typically, he's relatable. You can relate to that guy.
Yeah.
When he opens his mouth, he says stuff that is well thought through, and people can appreciate that. You can see LeBron's likability has dropped some for whatever reason it is. It has dropped some. KD he has ghost accounts and he's talking to people, but he kind of goes up and down on that likability thing. Then you have Kyrie Irving. His likability is low with a lot of people.
Yeah. So you got, I mean, like
on the court,
they're up there I mean, he's one of the best ball handlers of all time, but he could be one of the best ball handlers of all time. But if there's not going to be a collector out there that wants to buy his expensive stuff long term, then there may not be a point in investing in him long term because people don't like his personality.
Even Giannis is a likable guy.
Yes. Super grateful for everything. Just super, like, I think I look at Giannis, he's like a big kid. Like, I saw him last year when the day after they won the finals, he's going to Chick-fil-A and getting
nuggets.
He's getting nuggets. And like, yeah, I'll take pictures.
To people at the window, signing a few autographs.
Yeah.
He's always with his brothers. They're family.
Yes. He's all about family. And as like, that's something that everybody could relate to. Everybody loves their family. And like, compared to a guy like, we'll stick in Wisconsin, Aaron Rodgers, not very relatable. Like,
not very relatable. Says things in press conferences that are like,
and it's like, he's not. It's. Are you relatable? Are you a team player? He let his best wide receiver walk because he wanted to take $50 million. So
but then you got Tom Brady over here taking pay cuts.
Yes.
To ensure that he has a team around him.
Yes. So the relatability is huge when
very
investing
important.
Long term.
Very important. So Sam Rothstein comes with GOATs have to be transformational players. I agree with this. People who change the way the game is played, usually 1 to 2 per decade in the NBA. Sam speaking nothing but facts.
Curry, before nobody shot. Well, I won't say nobody shot threes, but now it's normal if you take 15 threes a game.
Yeah.
Before it was like, oh, you're taking more than 5 threes a game. Jesus, that's crazy.
Yeah, there were years where Jordan, Bird, Curry has more threes than Jordan, Bird, and Magic Johnson put together. More threes made.
That's
That wasn't a
insane.
shot. That wasn't really a shot that teams depended on. So yeah, so it has changed. Wilt changed the game. Um, Jordan changed the game. There's just certain people that you can name that as soon as their name comes up, you know who you're talking about. So
Do you think
I agree.
Giannis can change the game?
Yeah, I think he can. He just has to put more work in. He has more basketball to play. Giannis really won a championship kind of early in his career development, let me say, and how he developed as a big man. It was early. What will he do going forward? He has shown himself that he's working on his game. When he came out in the preseason following the championship and was shooting threes and 18-foot, 15-foot jumpers, he's working on his game. So if he continues to do that and he's dominating in the paint like he's been and he's durable like he has been, he shoots pretty decently from the free throw line. Shoots better than LeBron.
He was 15 for 15 in the game 6, which is insane.
52 points. I mean, he was dominating, and we can see today that there's a lack of a big man in the NBA. So if Giannis can keep doing what he's doing, we talk about top. I have a top 25, top 30 NBA list all time, and we talk about that sometimes on here. And I think Giannis, Kevin Durant, I already have Steph at number 9. These are going to be players that are jumping into the top 10, top 7 in the NBA all time. And they're going to be pushing some other players out. Like Larry Bird, to me, was top 10 up until about a year, two years ago. Then I feel like Steph Curry was the player that knocked him out of the top 10. And there will be other players that will come along that will challenge some legendary players that we know as far as their position in the all-time list standing. But I think Giannis is one of them that if he can keep doing what he's doing and at the level that he's playing at, it's going to be lights out for him.
Yeah.
George G, GOAT term tossed around nowadays. Yes. 1 or 2 per decade in every sport. Yes, George. Totally agree. Kawhi could be the closest thing to LeBron if he can win a ring in LA. Rookie card finder. I hate to think that Kawhi may have already seen his best years in the NBA.
Sadly, I agree.